now, right now. Right 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 now, right now. Oh, I got a real good feeling.
We try to bring you high-quality educational and informational content every single day. Why do you think the price is having such an anemic time? The news story of the hour. Jump onto the chart. Is this the beginning of a massive financial unraveling? We gotta add a little addendum to the show map today. So we start here on the daily. Now, we've been looking at the RSI on Bitcoin's daily chart for the last several days. Well, what's happening? It's been increasing over the last 50 years since the government has been Hey guys, what's going on? Jab here, and welcome back to Coffee and Crypto Live. This is your week daily morning show where we bring you the latest and everything Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And in today's video, it is going to be very obvious what we're going to be talking about. Today is the day of the halving. As you guys know, every 4 years, Bitcoin goes through a halving event where the block reward is cut in half. Most recently, we had seen a halving in May 11th, on May 11th of 2020, where the block reward was cut from 12.5 down to 6.25 Bitcoin. Today, in about 9.5 hours, the block reward will be cut once again for the first time in 4 years down to 3.25 Bitcoin. This will have absolutely imperative impacts on the cryptocurrency of Bitcoin moving forward. We're going to be talking about how this will affect the miners. We're going to be talking about how this will affect the price. And we're also going to be talking about how this will affect your investments. Hint, hint, I think it will, in the long run, end up being an extraordinarily bullish event for Bitcoin. More content coming out today also about the halving, so make sure to stay tuned for our afternoon video where we dive into the long-term price prediction that we have as a result of the halving. So stay tuned for that. And thank you very much to all of you who have joined this fine Friday morning. Very excited for you all to be here. Let's go ahead and read some chat. Alex Nibo's in chat, said, good morning. Joe Bollier's in chat as well. Gad is in chat. Lars is in chat. Stephen Alexander's in chat. Tin Man, Chasse, I'm not sure. I think it's Chasse. Carter Pennington, Lars, you are awesome. Oh, thank you. Yes, you are, my friend. Bulletproof Dean's in chat. Bryn X Motorsports. Cosmin B said, have a blessed day. Tim Satchet called out. Michael, Tim again. Freedom Advocate. Good to see you, Freedom Advocate. You are awesome. In chat. Jay's in chat. Michael Norris is in chat. And Music Tag says, what's up, Jeb? To the moon. 3.125. Bitcoin's block reward will be changing to 3.125 Bitcoin here in just a couple of hours. So let's get started. This is going to be a very, very enjoyable 12 months for Bitcoin, I believe. All right. Right now, Bitcoin is trading just shy of $65,000, sitting around $64,959. We are up 3.6% in the last 24 hours, and as you can see here on CoinMarketCap, the halving is expected to occur in about 9.5 to 10.5 hours. It goes back and forth a little bit based on the average block time, but it will occur sometime around 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight, which means in some parts of the world, it will occur on 4/20/4024, which it has been a meme floating around the internet of the whole 4/20/2024 thing, forward and backwards. This right here, you could probably see Tom Crown's video on it yesterday. So around some part of the world, it seems that it will be occurring on that day. Where I live, though, it'll occur on 4/19, and just say, forget the joke. Ethereum is up 1.87% in the last 24 hours, still trading at $371 billion, even though we are sitting at $3,000 in price. We've had a $1,000 corrective movement, but we are still worth $370 billion. Solana has been going through a major uptrend over the last 24 hours. It is currently sitting at 8%, at an 8% gain over the last 24 hours. And it has still, even despite the 8% gain in the last 24 hours, it is still down 14% in the last 7 days. So if you're looking to load up for Solana, then this would still, in my opinion, be a great time to do so. Similarly, Cardano is down to 47 cents, but it has rallied 6% in the last 24 hours. As I told you guys about a month ago, we were going to be experiencing a correction sometime around the halving. It seems that corrective movement has already, for the most part, occurred, and Bitcoin and its cryptocurrency compatriots may be coming out of the other side of the crypto crash. The good news about all of this as well is that that means that if we loaded up bags down here, as I was kind of shouting from the rooftops, as the proverbial woman of wisdom shall do, if we loaded up bags over the last several days, you're probably in good shape. Now, as you know, we've talked about how the worst case scenario on Bitcoin could be a drop down to 47 to 50. Although I'm not calling that because that's really a lot lower than I think we'll go. Really, what I think was the actual worst case scenario that I could actually see happening was a drop down here to about 54. But starting about a week ago, I started kind of shouting it from the rooftops once again that now is the time to be loading up bags. Now is the time to begin purchasing Bitcoin with cash. If you don't know, there is a certain method that we use to invest in the cryptocurrency market, and it is based around dollar cost averaging into something that we're expecting will appreciate in time. Our first round of investment, because if you remember, the 6 laws of money include investing and saving for the future. Our first round of investment is investing for retirement. We're going to invest in retirement accounts by first maxing out a 401k and taking a match, then maxing out a Roth IRA by buying the stock market first and foremost, primarily because it's significantly older than crypto. From there, I think it's a great idea to allocate 1 to 5% of your investment portfolio to Bitcoin specifically, not to crypto, but to Bitcoin specifically. That is your first round of investment. I want you to do that before you do any other kinds of investment. In that kind of investment, we don't store up cash for the investment. We just dump money into it every single month. And we put it into retirement accounts, and we want that to equal 15% of your household income. Then, when you are doing more investment on top of that is where the formula that I'm about to tell you comes in. After you've put away enough for retirement, many of you guys, I want you putting away, at least $500 to $1,500 a month for retirement. After you've done that, that is where we say we want to dollar cost average into the cryptocurrency market on a weekly basis. And I recommend putting 5 to 15% of the allotted amount that you are going to put into the cryptocurrency space into a cash account that is yield bearing, either in USDC generating about 5% annually, or a online a high-yield savings account like CIT Bank, for example, that generates 4.927%. This is a cash account that we are going to use in our shorter-term investing and wealth generation fund. In the event that the cryptocurrency market goes through a correction, then what we do is that, and you can do this in stocks too if you're trying to trade stocks and be a little bit more active on it. This is more like active investing is what we're doing here in crypto with investing for this bull market. Again, we're doing our retirement stuff first, and then we go on to build to doing our investment for the sake of the bull market. When we've got that cash account, as we're dropping here, that's when we start increasing the amount that we're dollar cost averaging every week. Instead of doing $100, we'll do $125, and we'll pull the money out of that cash account, not increasing it what we're drawing from our checking account, but pulling it out of that cash account, that high yield savings account that we set aside as capital to buy the dip. And when Bitcoin goes through a correction, or when Solana goes through a correction, or when XRP goes through a correction, or whatever it is that you're trying to invest in, that's where you can say, okay, I'm going to increase my weekly dollar cost averaging by 25%. I'm going to increase it by 50%. I'm going to just dump 10% of the cash straight into the market right now. However it is, you have cash. And one of the final rules here is that we don't ever completely deplete the cash account, because the market can always go lower, right? We deplete the cash account completely when the market can't go lower, which can never happen, so we never deplete the cash account. Does that make sense? You never deploy all of your cash. I know every single one of you in chat has done that before, and you felt dumb for doing it. Every single one of you has done it. If you've worked in crypto for any amount of time, I've done it myself. Depleted all the cash that you had to buy the investment, and then the market drops lower, and you say, oh my gosh, I wish I had more so I could buy down here. And you don't, because you deployed everything too quickly. It's okay if you don't deploy all the cash on every single correction. That's fine. That is totally, totally, totally fine. All right, so let's talk about where Bitcoin is going to go from here now that we actually know how to invest to generate wealth. Because if you do it just about any other way than that, you can tweak it a little bit, but if you do it just about any other way than that, you're almost doomed to fail. There are so many people in cryptocurrency, they get burnt and they lose everything they have because they did not invest for the long term first. They were not getting out of debt. They were not on a budget. They were not being wise and sovereign over their wealth. All right, so let's go into what this halving is going to do on Bitcoin. Let's take a look at the technicals. Something I'm very excited about with the technical analysis on Bitcoin today is this. If you guys don't know, this is the Crypto Jeb oscillator that was built proprietary by LUX ALGO with myself in partnership. We built this indicator together. This was my brainchild that LUX ALGO and team developed, and it is an absolute masterful work of art. You can get it by going to luxalgo.com/Jeb and signing up under our affiliate link. That is the only way that you can ever get access to the Crypto Jeb Oscillator. It is not for sale any other way. But if you do go and sign up for Lux Algo through our link, luxalgo.com/Jeb, then you can get access to this. And it's absolutely great. And one of the things that's telling us right now is that the bullish strength is starting to return. As you can see here, the bears have been losing strength. The bulls have been losing strength. The bears have been gaining strength for a while now. This up here, and this line right here, these represent the bullish and bearish strength. As you can see, the bullish strength has been coming down, and this is the momentum. This is the actual absolute strength of them. The bullish strength has been plummeting. The bearish strength coming down here has been getting further away from baseline, which means it has been growing. But as you can see, the decline in the bullish strength and the decline and the growing of the bearish strength are both starting to reverse in just the last couple of days. And it shows up right here in the bearish momentum. The bears were gaining momentum as we got further away from the zero level baseline. Now the bears are losing momentum. Do you see the curvature coming in right here? This is a very important sign. We've only ever seen this happen one other time in this entire corrective movement, and this was right here. And of course, when the bears started losing strength and the bulls started gaining strength again, we ended up rallying for about a week and a half. It was a big signal. Right now, we're seeing something very similar happen, but it lines up with other, what am I trying to say? It lines up with other fundamental reasons that we believe that the market will be going into a rally soon. So the Crypto Jeb Oscillator is giving us quite a lot of bullish warning. I won't say signal yet. We're not there yet, but it is showing us that we are going to that we have a great likelihood of a rally sometime soon. Now, we're not there yet, of course, and Lux Algo's mainline indicator also is not green yet. But what I will say is that the sell signal that we saw here on Lux Algo, we have more or less hit the take profit, and even if we haven't, it also agrees with me that this uptrending level of support would likely be our next major level of support that Bitcoin would fall to. Lux Algo confirms that that is our take profit on this sell signal, i.e., if we drop down to about 54K, which would be a $10,000 drop from where we are now, that would likely be our absolute bottom for this corrective movement. There is still the possibility we could drop to 47, but as I've said in all the content where we've discussed it, it is unlikely. It is the lowest possible level that I could see Bitcoin going to in the first place. So whether Bitcoin has hit a bottom or it needs to go down to 54 is yet to be determined. When the halving comes in, it could cause a flash crash. It very well could happen. But if it does, it is probably the last of the bearishness because of this chart. Not this chart, of this chart. I'm not going to get into this chart a whole lot today, but I'm just going to show it to you really quickly and tease you. We will be discussing this chart in our afternoon video, so stay tuned for that. And it will prove to you why the halving is actually one of the most bullish things that Bitcoin can ever have happen to it, even if in the short term it has caused and may continue to cause a corrective movement. Stay tuned for that video. That will be coming out this afternoon. I do want to let you guys know that today's stream is brought to you in part by NordVPN. If you guys have not signed up for NordVPN, I would highly recommend that you do it by going to nordvpn.com/Jeb. And the reason that you should sign up for Nord is because NordVPN is helping to keep you safe and secure while you browse online. Your browsing activity is basically available for everybody to see while you're online. And you've got all kinds of data brokers grabbing your information, like your home address and your phone number and your email address. Your physical address, like I said, P.O. box information, your license plate, your VIN number. You put information on the internet and you've instantly got dozens of data brokers that have your information. NordVPN is going to help keep you private and secure and safe by keeping you invisible from all of them as well. NordVPN is an excellent way to keep yourself safe while you browse online, so make sure to sign up with the link in the description box down below. Keep it turned on as much as you possibly can so that people cannot see you and your browsing activity. All right. Will the halving be like the ETF? Nothing for a few weeks? I think so. I think that for a little while, it won't have a huge impact. I could be totally wrong on this. Like I said, we have no precedent for what happens when Bitcoin goes into a halving event after we've hit all-time high. That has never occurred before. That being said, today, we are witnessing a rally, and it's possible that when the halving comes in, that could cause another rally. We shall see. All right. Let's read a little bit of chat. Mark Ruikert said HSA have triple tax savings, best of Roth and 401k combined. Yes, a health savings account is a great thing, something that most wealthy people do, and this is what our family does as well. Is you carry a form of insurance with very low premiums, very high deductibles. But because you're not in debt and you have an emergency fund, if something hits the fan and you got to pay $10,000 and your deductible's $12,000, then you can do that. But you carry an extremely low premium and you invest more money, which is basically what you would be putting into the insurance premium. Instead of giving it to the insurance company, you give it to a health savings account and you let it grow tax-free in the stock market. So absolutely, highly recommend health savings accounts. Definitely check those out. Bulletproof Dean said, hey, Jeb, I've been a supporter for a long time and a member of CT2A. Well, shout out to you, my friend. I've just invested in Nomada AI. If you like it, take a look when you have some time. Peace. I will... Never heard of it, but I will... Numada or Nomada? AI Nomada. Okay. Interesting. Well, thank you for your support for CT2A, and thank you for your support for the channel. I'll see if I can look into that. All right. Let's take a look at the rest of the crypto space. Now, there are a few other coins I want to point out here. For example, Uniswap is kind of on its way back up. It had a huge correction down here to about 761. Huge drop. But it is now up 7%, so that's exciting. Similarly, Render dropped 5%. It's now back up 2%. We're looking for a bit of a rally to come in here. If you don't know what Render is, it is a decentralized GPU blockchain protocol, which allows for people to do, 3D animation and 3D rendering on the blockchain. Very interesting idea. VeChain was down 14%, has rallied 2% in the last 24 hours. We've got a general uptrend here, which indicates that we may be coming in for the bottom. But in general, as I said, we are starting to move to the upside on a lot of these coins, which is very, very exciting. Kaspa at 11 cents. It's down 18% in the last 7 days, and it is still down almost 5% in the last 24 hours. So, still a great buy. I think Kaspa is a great project to buy into, and very excited about it. Arweave's doing very well. Celestia is doing very well. Fetch is doing very well. Thorchain is doing well on the percentage gains. Excited about all of that. I want to ask you guys a question. This is a question that comes from when I'm doing financial coaching. I ask people this in coaching all the time. Well, I don't ask them this question, but they normally tell me, and then I have a certain response. But how many coins are you invested in? Bitcoin, Solana, Ethereum, Cardano. Okay, you're invested in 4. Bitcoin, Solana, Ethereum, Cardano, and Polkadot, and Chainlink, and Thorchain. That's 7, right? How many coins are you invested in? I want everyone who is watching this. There are 452 people watching. I want all 452 of you to tell me in chat how many coins you're invested in. We're gonna have a little teaching here. Mike Lowry's in chat, said, happy #FinSolve Friday and happy halving. This is my second halving. Myself as well, Mike Lowry. I got into the space just after the 2016 halving, but not just after, about 11 months after. So I'd already been in the ecosystem. We were just about hitting 100,000 subscribers when Bitcoin had its last halving, and of course, we were here then. All right. So Verhoofdefluffen said, this is my first halving. Good deal. All right, look at this. Got some good answers coming in. I appreciate all of the interaction. Guys, make sure to hit that like button if you are enjoying today's stream. King JC Official said, this is my first halving. Let's read these numbers here. Verhoofdefluffen says 17. Scott A says 35. Satchet says about 20. Chris SF says Bitcoin Maximalist. Kevin S says 6. 42, 20, 15, 15, just VeChain, maybe 20, 15, 65 plus, 12, 17, ICP, 18, like 80, 15, max. I have too many coins, I know. I have about 18 coins altogether. 13, 25, first halving, 8 to 12, Bitcoin Maximalist here. All right, who knows why I'm asking this? Is there anybody that's been in coaching with me that can tell us why I'm asking this question? I'm really wondering if anybody in chat, 17, 40-ish, 25, 23, heart, 49. Can anybody in chat tell me why I'm asking this question? Vasil Valchev said Bitcoin, ETH, Solana, DOT, and ADA. Okay, so that's 5. Will the potential war halt this bull run at CryptoJeb? I doubt it. I certainly hope war doesn't break out, but I don't think it will. Diversification, me. Jeb's the people's champ. Fortune favors the brave, 12. Diversify. 869. Surprise us. So, I'm going to ask you all another question. Everybody who answered this question, too many coins, too hard to manage. Okay, somebody knew why I was asking this. You should know what you're investing in. Can you manage that many coins? Invest only in what you know. Got to be able to keep track. Shouldn't have too many coins because if you spread thin, you make less. Wow, you guys do know exactly why I'm asking this question. Good. So I'm going to ask a question now. How many of those coins do you understand their value proposition? You understand exactly what they do. You understand the team that's building the product. You understand where the product will likely go to in the bull market as far as you have a price prediction in mind for that coin. You are able to confidently manage every single one of those coins on a weekly basis and keep track of the news and updates and developments on them. How many of you guys can say that for every single one of the coins that you own? You're going to hack us, lol. No. How many of you guys understand, in other words, all of the coins, are able to keep track of them, and have a plan, whether it's written or not, but at least some kind of plan in those coins? 1 of 35. 10 of 18, 4 of 7, all. That's good, Ryan Jenkins. Great. Freedom Advocate said all 5. Quant and LCX, so 2 of 10, 0. I have 0 knowledge about them. Not many. 8 of 15, maybe. Not working for me. 7 coins, first halving. 7 out of 10, happy with that spread. So here's why I'm not going to say that however many coins you have is too many. I'm not going to tell you how many coins is too many. What I am going to tell you is that if you do not understand the coin, I tell people this in coaching all the time, and then I get an aha moment. It's a beautiful moment. And then it's like light bulbs go off, and the person's like, wow, I'm going to make so much more money because I know this now. If you don't understand every one of those coins, then you have 3 options that are responsible, and only 3. I've never heard anybody give me another option that is responsible if the answer to that question on this coin is no. Let's say you own a certain coin and you don't know much about it. You don't really understand it. You don't understand the value prop. You don't have any idea where it's going to go. You don't understand why people are adopting it. You're not able to keep up with the news of it. Let's say that's the case for a certain coin. There are 3 things that you can do responsibly with that coin. Number 1, you can sell it immediately. I'm going to cause a sell-off. I'm causing a sell-off right now because I know a lot of you guys are actually going to do this. The first thing you can do is you can go sell the coin immediately. Because when you choose to be sovereign over your finances, that means a wise man or a wise woman looks well into the way of his going. To quote the Bible, we understand the things that we have around us. That is how you gain control. And I'll prove it. The way that you become financially sovereign is by becoming wise. Well, we know that the fear of the Lord leads to knowledge, and knowledge leads to understanding, and understanding leads to wisdom, and wisdom leads to financial sovereignty. So if we don't have knowledge and understanding about the things that we are invested in, then there is no chance for us to be financially sovereign over it. Let me make this very elementary so it's understandable. How can you control something that you don't understand? How can you run a sheep farm if you have no idea how to shear a sheep? I got no idea how to shear a sheep. I can't do that. I would not be financially sovereign over that farm. I got no idea how the product works. The little buyers, right? We got a lot of buyers, but I don't know how to make them. I don't know how to make them happy, right? If you don't understand it, the first thing you can do is you can sell it immediately and put the money in something you actually understand. The second thing that you can do that is also responsible is you can go and do your research and make a commitment to understanding that coin and keeping track of it for the duration of the bull market. You see how those two take a lot of work? Either 1, you're not in the coin, or 2, you actually have to work to keep up with it. That is a difficult concept. I have to actually put work into this investment. It's not a matter of just like maxing out my 401k and just leaving it there for 40 years. No, we've got 140 years of stock market activity to know that the market, the S&P 500, is going to continue rallying. But if you're buying an individual stock in the stock market, you better believe you better be keeping track of that stock. Make no mistake, when you're buying into the cryptocurrency space, I think it's good to diversify, and I want you to have coins in big cap, medium cap, small cap territory, but you cannot have more coins than you're able to keep track of, because the thing you forget about those funds on Wall Street is that they are actively managed by people that have been doing this for decades, and there's hundreds of them managing those funds. So they will increase portfolio allocation, lower portfolio allocation, and you're not just investing in the stocks in the market, you're also investing in the fund manager's ability to manage the fund, which is why you're investing in a fund and you don't just go build it yourself. First thing you can do if you don't understand a coin in your portfolio is you can sell it immediately. The second thing you can do is you can make a commitment today to be sovereign over it by keeping up with it and having a written plan for what you're going to do for it. Third thing you can do, and this is my least favorite option, but it is technically possible, is you can label it a gamble. You do not have the right, I do not have the right to call something an investment without a plan for it. That is not an investment. That is a gamble. And you know what? It's not a bad idea if you're trying to have fun to go buy a $2 scratch off. But I tell you what, nobody ever got rich and kept the money from the lottery. I have been around the sun 23 times. I've never heard of a single person ever becoming wealthy and staying wealthy just because they got rich in gambling. Not one. If they managed to strike it lucky, then they, every single time that I've ever heard of it, lose the money. And the reason is because people that know how to build wealth have so much more confidence in their own ability to be sovereign over their wealth and grow it over time than they are in the likelihood that they're going to make money on a scratch off. So disproportionately, broke people that don't know anything about building wealth are the people buying scratch offs. So disproportionately, it's broke people that are making money on scratch offs or in gambling. But they don't have the skills, the sovereignty, the discipline yet. And I'm sure they can learn, but they don't yet have the understanding of how to manage the money. So it comes in and falls out. So the third thing that you can do with cryptocurrency investments that you don't understand is you can label them as a gamble. Please don't do too much of that. It's not okay for you to label your entire portfolio that's worth $100,000 and your net worth is $150,000 as a gamble. It's not okay to label almost all of your investments a gamble. Please don't do that. Go with the first two. So here's the deal. Is diversification a bad thing? No, of course diversification is not a bad thing. What's a bad thing is investing in things that you don't even understand. So if you don't understand it, sell it, or label it a gamble. Period. It's that simple. Cool. Let's read some chat. So I'm diversifying and will use bravery to hold on. I'm okay with losing. I'm okay with losing also. So here's the thing. I'm all for you being brave. I'm not for us being dumb. And a dumb thing to do is buying something that we don't understand. I want you to be diversified. I think every one of you can probably reasonably manage 5 to 15 coins. When you start getting up to 90 or 100 coins, that's when it becomes dangerous because you don't know what most of them do. And we are not in the game of gambling. I don't consider what I do to be gambling because there's a plan. The difference between gambling and investment is a plan. If somebody walks into a casino and they know how to card count and they go sit down at the blackjack table and they've got $100,000 and they're going to do this for the next 10 years and they're somehow not going to get caught, I'm actually kind of okay with that person calling it an investment. Because if they're going to make money 51% of the time and they're going to do it for long enough, then they've actually got a fighting chance of making money that way. And for them specifically, because they are world-class at card counting, they can kind of get away with it. And they've got a plan and a strategy that honestly works so long as you don't get thrown out of the casino, right? They will get thrown out of the casino, but it kind of works. There's a plan. We're not gambling in crypto. If you are, stop. Please. Gambling does not bring joy. It's not, like, sure, it's kind of fun to grab a scratch off like $1, whatever, but don't make that your plan to get wealthy. It's not going to work. Yeah. So let's read a little bit of chat. Can you explain how to make a DCA work for you? Yeah. And that will honestly kind of lead us into our next sponsor. Today's video is brought to you in part by Crypto.com. And the reason that I go ahead and let you know about Crypto.com, and one of the reasons I wanted them to be a sponsor of the channel is because with over 80 million users worldwide, you are able to dollar cost average however you want in the app. As you can see right here, it's called a recurring purchase, and whenever recurring buy, and whenever you have the app on your phone, you have instant access to an absolutely wonderful exchange to do your dollar cost averaging into the cryptocurrency market. please make sure that you understand the things that you're investing in. But you can set this up to buy Bitcoin or buy Ethereum or buy Cardano or whatever it may be on a weekly basis, a daily basis, or a monthly basis and build out that investment portfolio. How do you make it work for you? You make it work for you by understanding the things that you're investing in, buying low, and then having a plan to sell it high. I want you to have a plan not just for when you buy it, but also for when you sell it. And the way we're going to have a plan for when we sell it is that we understand the coin, we understand where we think it's going to go. We roll it back probably at least 50%, and then we say we're going to start taking profits here. Let's say I think Solana could go to $1,000. And we'll start taking profits at 400, probably 1% a week, and then slowly, gradually, actively managing, increasing that to 2 and 5% a week. And somebody in chat said something absolutely wonderful that I love. Who was it? Let me see. They said that we are the fund manager. Let's see. Who said it? I want to give somebody the credit for that. Someone said the only difference is that we are the fund manager. And that's actually kind of my point, is that, yes, Sam Lipsit said you are the fund manager. That's my point. You're the fund manager, and you are one person. So unless you got a team of 10 people to keep track of 50 coins, then you can't overwhelm yourself. Most of you guys, and it's not a bad thing, have a full-time job. Most of you have a full-time job, and so you don't have time to manage 40 coins. Be realistic about what you have time to manage. If you only have time to manage... if you only have time to manage Bitcoin and Ethereum and you've got 20 minutes a week, then just buy Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's going to do very, very well. So the fact of the matter is, if you choose wisdom, you will be successful. That's so funny. I love it. See, this is one of the reasons I want to start bringing callers on the stream, because I love it when people say stuff like this. Let's see. Facts made tons. I'm a professional blackjack player. Oh, how about that? There you go. I wasn't actually reading that chat. Bye, done listening to a 23-year-old child. Bye. That's so funny. I love that. I love that. You know, sometimes my 3-year-old tells me things that absolutely rattle my brain. I'm like, man, that was so smart. Age is not an indicator of wisdom. I know a lot of people that are 3 times my age, and they are fools with money. They are complete fools with money. Age has absolutely nothing to do with wisdom. Other than, statistically speaking, a lot of people my age are idiots with money. But we also can't forget that there's a lot of knuckleheads with money that are in their 50s and 60s and 70s. It is not about age. It is about whether we have chosen to be financially sovereign, period, when it comes to money. You, Colin, are a professional blackjack player, apparently. You understand how to control a blackjack table and win 51 or 52% of the time. Good for you. You have chosen to be financially sovereign enough to get control over yourself and discipline yourself, probably for years, to learn how to play blackjack and make money doing it. You have chosen sovereignty over yourself. You have had self-discipline. And it is with that self-discipline that you're able to win at the blackjack table. Hopefully, you're also self-disciplined in how you manage the money that you make. Jesse Ann said, Fizz, in his bedroom, he's a genius. He could have been a rocket scientist, but he decided to help others with crypto. Yeah, you know, what I did want to work at NASA, actually. I always had so much fun. I always had so much fun with astrophysics. It was my hobby. My hobbies growing up were astrophysics, science, and and video games. My hobbies and interests include video games, astrophysics, and SciShow. Who knows that YouTube channel? It was John Green and his brother. John Doe said, if you're over 60, how much time can you wait for market to return? If you're over 60, it is the exact same thing as if you are 23. You just have less time. So sometimes you might have to get more income. I was coaching a lady who was 69, and she didn't have a lot because she'd just been through this terrible divorce. It was a very, very sad story. And she'd been married to this just megalomaniac jerkwad. Absolute horrible, horrible individual. Dude's making over $1 million a month. Left her with a truck. It was terrible. There was a prenup. It was a complete mess. My heart, man, it just ripped me to shreds, the situation this 69-year-old lady was in. And I gave her a few pieces of counsel And I mean, she was crying. It was a wonderful financial coaching call. It was awesome. She had where was I going with this? Oh, as far as building wealth when you're, closer to the retirement age. We talked about it for a while, and we discovered, first and foremost, I realized pretty quickly into the call that the divorce had just happened a couple months before. Like this, she was 2 or 3 months off of a 16-year marriage. And so I said, okay, hang on, pump the brakes. You got to go take 3 to 6 months, and you got to make sure that you're above water, but you got to take a pause on the finances, except for one thing. You need to go with your ladies at church that she kept talking about, and you need to pray with them, and you need to heal, and you need to have people pray over you. I prayed over her, and you need to stay near a church because my Bible says that the church is supposed to care for widows, and this dude is basically, dead spiritually, so I'd look at her kind of like that. Stay near your church. The second thing, when you're at that age, she said that she was able to sell insurance and annuities. She said she was able to make over $10,000 a month selling annuities. I said, listen, you need 3 to 6 months to continue healing. While you're doing that, sell the $38,000 truck, buy a $15,000 truck, put the money in a cash account, and buy a house with a giant down payment so that you have a place to stay and live near your church. The next thing that you need to do is you need to go and bust your tail for 2 years. You need to give it one more shot. She was all motivated. She's like, I can do it. I know how to sell annuities. She said, I can probably make $10,000 a month. I said, you need to go do that for 2 years, and you need to make as much money as you can for 2 years, and you need to see the light at the end of the tunnel that you've got 24 months to bust your freaking tail so that when you're 73, you're not without a home. And you're going to put this $150,000 into a down payment, the vast majority of it into a down payment, and the truck, the proceeds from that, you're going to put into the down payment as well. You're going to go make a boatload of money for 2 years. You're going to get a paid off house, and then from there, she has Social Security coming in. You're going to be able to work this other job that she had for a time. That was not anything to do with investment. We didn't say a single thing about investment. Not a word about investment. We barely talked about her crypto portfolio at all. It was a few $100s. She's doing great. She's trying to be entrepreneurial again. I'm so freaking proud of this lady. I will not say her name. All of this is purely confidential, but I'm so proud of her. And in her situation, it wasn't about investment. It was about being out of debt. It was about having a paid-for house. It was about having the stability and security that she needed, right? It was about not having too much truck. It was about having a home that she could call home. If we had to continue the conversation and she wanted to continue working or something, for more years, then that's where we could have gotten into, okay, make some investments. But ultimately, the cool thing was she had a job that she really enjoyed that made a little bit of money. She got a paid-for house, it makes enough to provide for her. And like I said, she was also very much right there in the church. One of the great things about building wealth when you're advanced in age, I'll say, I don't want to offend anybody, is that if you're a Christian, the church is there, and hopefully your kids are there to also help you if you've gotten to that point where you're not able to work anymore. Let's say you are 60, though, and you're trying to build wealth. If you're not to retirement age, if you're not to 67, even if you're 65, I highly recommend maxing out the 401k if you have it, taking the match, then maxing out a Roth IRA if you can, making sure that you're debt-free. By the time you're 60, guys, I want you to have been debt-free for 20 years. If you're not there, no judgment, it's okay, but get out of debt as quickly as possible following the financial sovereignty way. Don't rely on Social Security, and if you're going to take it, which, I mean, if it's there for you, then do it. Don't take it early. SSI taken early will give you a penalty. Don't take it early. Take it on time. Make it wait until 65 or 67 or whenever you're planning on taking it. Wait until there's no penalty. And continue to invest. And if you have to work later, then you have to work later. But my goal is for all of you to retire with dignity. It's not about retiring at 65. It's not about retiring at 45. It's not about retiring at 85. I want all of you to retire with dignity so that you are able to be financially free of needing assistance from your kids or the church or whatever. But if you're not there, then as Christians, I hope you know that it is also okay to say, look, I made some mistakes in my life. I was not wise with money. I need some help. That's okay also. That is a good thing also. Wealth preservation is good. Jeb, working in my vegetable garden is like my crypto investments. Patience and watch the growth. Love it. I'm growing tomatoes and peppers. Cool. Cool. Money was the least of my concern until a few years ago. Money should not be the thing that consumes our life, but money should be a chief interest, I should say, of ours, because it is one of the most important pieces of substance that we will manage. Our time, our money, and our relationships, I would say, are our 3 most important forms of substance. They're the most valuable, most important things that we steward. They're not the most valuable things in creation, but they're the most important things that take the most of our time in creation, is our relationships with one another, our time, and our money. So, all of that to say, no matter where you are, choosing financial sovereignty is the most important step to building wealth. It does not matter the time in your life does not matter the age. It matters that you choose fence off. Now, to pull it all back to square one, the Bitcoin halving is going to cause a Bitcoin moonshot. I want you to understand that Bitcoin is almost certainly going to go through some kind of tumult over the next 24 hours. That's okay. This is a tumultuous process. It's like we're jumping into hyperspace or something here, guys. It is not necessarily going to be a super smooth process. The halving itself will be perfectly fine. There will be no technical difficulties. It'll go off completely without a hitch. A 100% foolproof plan. Right. The market is what I'm talking about. The market may get tumultuous. We may have some variability. We may have some ups and downs. At the end of the day, I am training you guys to be investors. I'm not training you to be traders. I can teach you a lot about trading, but I think the thing that's going to help more people is teaching you to be an investor. Guys, I have the skills. I could go off and be a day trader and probably make millions and millions of dollars doing that. And we do very well for ourselves with the channel and everything, but I don't care about that because then I'm only making money for myself. I want to lead you guys to wealth generation. I want to lead millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of you to being financially sovereign. That is my entire mission in life after serving the Lord and loving my family. When I'm training you as an investor, I'm going to lead you in the direction of looking at the long term. And the long-term picture here is that in history, we have always, every single time, the last 3 times we've had a halving, those are the only 3 times we've had a halving, every single time we have seen a major rally on Bitcoin begin shortly after the halving. Within a year, the market has always been at least 250% higher than it was when the halving occurred. As I said, there'll be more information on this in today's afternoon video, so stay tuned for that. But a 200% return from where we are right now would be $185,000. To get that kind of return in the stock market would probably take about 5 to 10 years. We're talking about a year or so here in crypto. Not knocking the stock market. If you think the stock market is a way that you won't get wealthy in this life, then you are what's known as wrong. There are millions of millionaires in the country that will tell you that you're flat wrong, that you can't make money in the stock market. What I'm here to tell you is that Bitcoin's probably going to outperform the stock market. It's got a higher alpha and a higher beta. It's got a higher alphabet. Higher risk, higher reward. And in general, I think it will make you more money in the next 12 months. That being said, still invest in the stock market because neither one of us have a time machine and anything can happen. So it's good to be diversified, especially into something like the S&P 500, which is actively managed and everything, and represents basically the entire U.S. economy. Bitcoin is going to be worth significantly more here in the next couple of years. Now, guys, I do want to let you know about about our last sponsor for today, and that would be Uphold. Vault by Uphold. I'm very excited to bring you this product because Vault is helping you to securely self-custody your crypto assets. The thing that is so exciting about this is that the way this works. All right, let me explain the way that this works. You've got 3 keys. You need 2 of them to unlock the vault. You keep 2 of them, Uphold keeps 1 of them. If you lose 1 of them, then Uphold can replace either one of the keys because the vault has to be unlocked with 2 keys, the vault key and the backup key. But Uphold has a key. You see how that works? There's 3 keys in existence for your wallet, for your vault. You need 2 of the keys to co-sign a transaction and get into the vault. Uphold's key can replace either one of the keys, but because Uphold only has 1 key and it takes 2 keys to enter the vault, then that means that Vault can never get access to your wallet. But if you lose one of your keys, Vault's key can stand in the place of either one of the ones you lost. Genius idea. Absolutely genius idea. So if you lose either one of your backup keys, Vault's key can stand in the place of the one you lost because you need 2 keys to unlock the vault, and there are 3 keys that can be used to unlock the vault. How genius is that? As you can see right here, it says right here, 2 keys are required to move assets. Uphold can never control your crypto. So the 1 and 2 key can unlock the vault, or the 2 and the Uphold key can unlock the vault, or the 1 and the Uphold key can unlock the vault. You don't need the Uphold key unless you lose one of the keys. But it's a way of having self-custody in the Uphold app while also still having access to instant 24/7 trading on Uphold's exchange. Absolutely genius idea. So make sure, if you've not already, to go to the link in the description box down below, sign up for Vault, self-custody your cryptocurrency assets without having to be afraid of losing the cryptocurrency if you lose one of the keys, and also make sure that you get access to the 24/7 trading there as well. Great product. All right, I hope you guys have all enjoyed today's stream. I hope that you have all had a happy #FinSoft Friday. And I'm very, very, very excited to see all of you continuing to grow in this market. So very excited to see all of you guys and how well you're going to do. We're going to wrap it out. If you enjoyed today's stream, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, stay tuned for the halving, which will be happening around 8 to 10 p.m. tonight. And before I go, I do just want to let every one of you know that all success in life begins with a personal and daily walk with the Lord Jesus Christ. And before I go, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.